or saving up for that big tramp. You know, you need a lot of extra cards on board to make that. There we go.
Oh,
Yep.
there it is.
So now we get to draw 4 cards, pick the ones we want, and discard the 4 that we don't. Very, very strong card here. Also, the 2/6 stat line on this tramp is not particularly easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Even with the characters on board, even with the support from the Basil, this Judy Hopps is only a 3/3. So +2 from the Basil only makes it a 5/3, and so not the easiest to remove with the current
Yes.
characters on board. But we do know that that shift Judy Hopps is coming in the next turns potentially. So let's see if that helps with this board here.
We will go ahead and clean up that basil with the Ursula, finish up the Tipo with your Bobby. And now all Chris is left with is that Judy Hopps, which is just not what you want to see on Chris's side.
Yeah, so we're looking at um so Daisy's gonna
With
quest,
Jasmine.
give a Jasmine. Might be a little slow at this point. We are gonna save the lady. I wonder if that indicates maybe a shift lady could be in hand, or in the near future for Andy. Um,
It is very possible he did decide to discard a Daisy, a Lady Family Dog, the Shift Lady, and a Big Tramp off that last Big Tramp. So he might have a couple of those cards already in hand and say, I don't need two of them. One is fine with me. But we
all
do
right.
clean up the Daisy with the Judy. So that's one less two quester on board that you have to worry about. But with that tramp on board now, that little lady, she quests for two.
Yep, and we chose to ramp that turn. Donald Duck Flatfoot comes down, flat-footed, Flatfoot.
Oh no, I feel
Uh-oh.
like we're getting an under the sea.
It
Maybe he
could
just
be.
wanted a card draw, but I feel like it's coming.
It could be. We did get to essentially sculpt our hand there that
Yeah,
last turn with the tramp. It looks like we targeted the Judy Hopps. Potentially, if no under the sea in hand, we know that the shift Judy would still retain that -2 strength in the following turn, so it could help save the. Oh
all
nope,
right.
or
So
we're
we
just gonna
must
go
not
ahead and
have
take it
the
out with
under
the
the
tramp.
sea, which is fine. It's I feel like Andy's like, this is fine. I'll just go ahead and take care of the board right now here. But I don't think that that's like a bad play at all. Even if he does have the under the sea, he wouldn't get a ton of value from it right now. So I feel like holding on to it if you have it for a later turn where Chris has 3 or 4 more characters on board that it can hit would be a lot more valuable.
Yeah, every turn this game goes on, though, bigger and bigger characters are going to come out for Chris's side here. Hades and Vincenzo, and um, the big Judy Hopps, and probably other characters that I'm not aware of in this particular list. But um, it is definitely interesting to see here. Andy keeping very strong board
And
control.
there it is.
We do
There's
see
that
a
shift
shift.
lady. So we're gonna bring back at least, oh, we're gonna bring back both Daisy Ducks, which is just, ugh, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough to deal with. So we're gonna go ahead and ink a Lilo and play one of those daisies. Chris knows that he's got that second daisy, so where this board is only going to get wider.
Yep, and I think we see a Hades in hand for Chris. He ramped last turn with that flat foot, so he can ink and play the Hades this turn, but a lot of threats on the board to deal with here. Um, Not sure which one I would choose to remove.
I
The
think I would go for the tramp because that it only has one damage on it currently, and you have a long way to go before you can challenge into that tramp to be able to take it out. You're going to need a couple more characters at least.
Yeah, you also can't take out this lady either, though, at 4/4. Um, so we will Hades the Tramp. We will Donald the Ursula, and I think that's the turn. So Chris
Yeah.
passes it back over. We'll see what comes through here. We know we have another Daisy in hand. We've inked a few
Hmm.
Lilos, so no no current decision for bringing anything back from the discard at the start of the turn. Let's see. All right, so we play the other Daisy. Couple more cards left in hand.
Can't quite tell what they are, but he's still threatening 5 lore on board that he can gain this turn. He can go ahead and quest for 2 with that lady. I don't think that there's really any threat because he would have to run both the Donald and the Hades into the lady just to take care of that. And same with the Daisy. The Hades and the Donald, they only hit for 3. They only have 3 strength. So you're going to have a tough time being able to clear this board out. Oh, another tramp. Oh boy, so we're going to go ahead and be able to draw 4 cards, pick and choose which ones we would like to keep, and discard the other 4 that we said. We don't really need those right now. We'll deal with that later. All right, so we're getting ready. 2 Mowglis, another Lilo, and what's
There
going to
we
be the
go.
last card here?
We did get a Lilo into the discard. That can be really nice to try and help inch across the finish line with those last bit of lore.
Absolutely.
One more card needs to be discarded. We're gonna be left with one card in hand. It's
And a
not the Chromacon.
Chromacon.
We have we'll have to see what it is.
He did just
Uh,
discard the Chromacon.
right. He didn't keep the Chromacon.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So the lady's gonna quest for 2. I we're at 11. I wonder if we just quest with everything. Um, do the trigger. We get
Nick
a Nick
Wild.
Wild, a little Nick Wild.
Yeah, I say I would just quest with everything. Your board is so wide and you have lethal on board, so no matter what, Chris has several characters that he needs to answer just to even make it to one more turn.
Absolutely. So we are gonna start with a sail. Kind of indicates he's looking for something that maybe he doesn't have. He says, "Nope, can't do it." Let's go
Too
ahead and
wide.
take it to game 3, where Sapphire Steel will get to be on the play.
We love a game 3.
Absolutely.
See, and this is where Chris is like, thank goodness I won that first game on the draw because you never really want to be sitting in a situation where a dogs player goes first twice and wins both games. That is super rough because that deck is super play draw dependent. So I feel like you really, really want to go first when you're trying to go super fast, especially against a deck that ramps because a lot of times they take that turn 2 off just to kind of ramp up their ink. So I think that Chris is sitting pretty right now. He gets to go first for the very last game.
Yeah, he's certainly looking for maybe some of his early shift lines, I think. The Nick Wild one drop. I don't know if they have the Jasmine one drop, but that seems like a reasonable card they may have as well. Um, and then we already know they have the Basil, an excellent Sapphire one drop. So, something like one drop sail with another one drop attached to it would be really nice. Maybe then shift onto one of those one drops and start getting some of your draw engines going, whether it be the Jasmine line or the Nick Wild, to help you
Absolutely.
draw some cards.
Absolutely. And if you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We know that it is an early morning indeed, but hey, who doesn't love getting up early for a little bit of Disney Lorcana? And we will be here all day providing the Disney Lorcana fun for you. We are in the top 8 currently. We are going into the third game of this round. And then we'll be moving on to the semifinals and the finals and crowning an NA championship qualifier.
Yes, absolutely. I think while they're shuffling up here, I think we did get some information on the top 8 players. Um, we have this match that you're seeing with the Amber Emerald versus Sapphire Steel. The other games being played, we also have a Amber Amethyst versus a Baja or Emerald Sapphire. Then we've got another Emerald Sapphire versus Purple Steel or Amethyst Steel. And then our last top eight matchup looks like it is another Sapphire Steel and another Amber Amethyst. So lots of fun decks to see here competing for
Absolutely.
this qualification.
If I believe, I think Chris altered 5 cards, and I believe Andy altered 4. So interesting to see neither of the players really had quite the toolbox they wanted. So they went ahead and shipped some back, hoping for some better cards. And we'll just have to see. I couldn't really tell what was in there either of their hands. So hopefully Chris is able to find his ramp and just keep that dog's deck under control. But both players look like they're having a grand time, laughing, having fun, and we love to see it. We absolutely love to see it. That's what Disney Lorcana is all about, is having fun, enjoying your opponents, and win or lose. I mean, both of these players are going home with some amazing prizes.
Absolutely. And we've got people in the chat cheering on Chris. Stephanie from Lorcana Muses says, "Let's go, Chris." So if
He
you
is Team Muses, so
that would make sense then. Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for, what you want to see win. Um,
oh, did we ink and pass? Oh no, I think he had to ink and pass. He didn't have a 1 drop, so we did ink a Francine on Chris's side, and we did not have a character to follow up with it.
and it's
But
not
we do have a
terrible.
Tipo. It is not terrible. We can certainly come back from this, but that Daisy is extremely difficult to get rid of as it stands, and it doesn't help that you missed that 1 drop.
Ooh, the Lilo off the Bobby is what
Pretty
you want to see.
nice.
Yep.
So let's see if we ink and play another 1 drop. We
Yep, there
do.
it
We
is.
play the lady. Go ahead and quest for 2 with the daisy, see what we get off that daisy trigger, and it's another Tipo. So we do have the option to ramp again and start to get closer to those bigger characters that we know Chris has in his deck, such as Hades, Vincenzo, and some of those shift Judy Hopps and Nick Wild targets.
Awesome. We got the player cams here have been swapped to their appropriate positions. So for some of the fans of these players who is going, that's not Chris, that's not Andy. They've swapped those over here to be a
Oh
little more
boy,
accurate.
do we get anything off this Ursula? I don't know if we had a song in hand.
Nope.
And we don't, but we do see the Shift Judy. I believe that is a Donald Duck Blackfoot.
Yep.
Um, and I think that that's a Little Nick Wild, a Tipo, and a Doc in hand. Oh my
Oh man.
goodness. We are just going so wide.
All right. Deciding what we're
Double
gonna do here. We
Daisy.
pass the turn. Okay, so no
That's
questing this turn.
interesting.
Maybe a big tram or a under the sea. Something that values having those characters out there in order to get that squared away. So we see the Francine come down along with a Tipo.
So do we go ahead and
We
ramp?
ink off the
Yep,
Tipo. Yep. We're really just trying to get as many characters out on the board as we can. Ink our way up to
absolutely.
those big characters in our hand. Maybe something like a Hades or Vincenzo is
hmm
now available
I
to be dealt
honestly
with.
think it's probably to get that dock off too. You want to go ahead and try and slim down your hand so that when you are ready to play that dock, you get 2 cards. You don't have to discard anything. I believe he has the Shift Judy still in his hand. And I'm not sure the other card that he was able to get.
Oh, the
Oh, but we do
Chromacon.
see a
That's what it was
Chromacon.
for.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now
So
this is going to get very, very tricky on Chris's side with that Chromacon down because anytime that he attempts to banish a character on Andy's side, Andy will be able to choose if he wants to bounce one of Chris's other characters or even a character of his own.
absolutely. Notably, he's not the furthest along in lore. Um, so we see two of them swung into the Tipo. Take that out.
Hmm.
We're gonna double Daisy quest here to go up to six. We get a Vincenzo, and we lose a Sail the Azurite Sea here.
And we do decide to go ahead and quest with that lady, even though we don't have a tramp on board. So she doesn't quite quest for as much as we'd like. But I think at this point, Andy's board is so wide, and with that Chromacon down, it 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 becomes so difficult to be able to clean up Andy's board, and he knows that for sure. So now we're trying to decide on Chris's side, how are we going to approach this? How are we going to get around this Chromacon? Can we even start to clean up the board? And I know that I would be hoping for a Hades at this point. Hades, one of those daisies, or maybe a lady, so we can avoid that shift target coming down and going even wider. But we do choose to go ahead and start taking out these daisy ducks. We did a little bit of damage with the Tipo to the other daisy that was not banished to the discard. And we go ahead and bounce that
There we go.
Judy Hops.
The
That was a
Vincenzo comes
very, very
down,
smart move.
bounce the Francine. It's a good Chromacon play there. Yeah, the one thing that is kind of I'm curious about here, Sapphire and Steel are both have plenty of ways to interact with items. Cards like Wasabi, Judy Hops as well, actually,
Hmm.
as well as cards like Benja and others, or the new Pluto. Do we think Chris has an answer to this Chromacon that maybe if he can just find it and play it, then it becomes a lot better. But we just continue to go wide here. We play down a Go-Go as well as we bring back that Lilo from the discard. So we're gonna have Vincenzo take out the Lilo. Andy has to decide here, do we want to bounce something? If you bounce that Vincenzo, it can just get played right again and take out another character, which can be punishing. I think they're going to skip the Chromacon trigger,
Okay. Interesting.
play the
Lay down that
Francine.
Francine. We do have another Vincenzo in hand too. Andy doesn't know about it yet, but he's got that sitting in hand. Oh, and we play a dock for with no trigger. So that's certainly interesting. I wonder if he ended up drawing a second dock or if he's just saying, I need more bodies on this board.
Yeah, I think it's the latter there for sure. One card in hand for Andy, brings back the Lilo, decides maybe not to play that card. Looks like we're gonna quest with everything but the ladies.
Ooh, so we're going all the way up to 13 lore, which is scary territory, honestly, for Chris.
14. So I wonder if maybe there's a big lady in hand, that he doesn't have the ink to play this turn and wants to preserve one of these ladies so that it can be um, shifted onto later to bring back some additional characters. Which, if you're Chris, you really got to be really afraid of something like that. That can just continues to extend the game further. All right, Andy says I'm going to quest with all of them. Uh, I think that may be the right move. That lady is a 5 cost character,
Hmm.
right? So worst case, you may be able to top deck an Inkable. Ink can play it anyway. Um, and
I
if
don't
they're
know if it matters. I think that Andy recognizes that I don't know if that matters. I don't know if he will even be able to get another turn. where he has to play another character because of this Chromacon. As soon as Chris starts to take out anything on Andy's board, he could just bounce several of his characters, and he's gone wide enough that I don't know. I don't know if we can clear everything without getting all of our characters bounced and still passing the turn and having Andy win. So we're choosing not to activate the Chromacon, it seems.
I
We are
think he's
just,
still deciding.
oh, okay, still deciding. All right. I wasn't sure. So we did play the Vincenzo, which cleanly took out the go-go, but we still have all of our characters unexerted for Chris's side. So they are now vulnerable to just being bounced back to hand without getting any value. We do choose to go ahead and bounce one of the Francines to Chris's hand. And now we're only left with three characters on Chris's side that can start to clean up all of the lore on Andy's side. And it's a tough decision. I know that I could see the wheels turning on Chris's face. We're like, how do we do this? How can we possibly make this happen here?
Yeah, it's kind of rough. Originally I thought maybe you quest the remaining Vincenzo and you take out the Lilo, um, and then if they don't bounce the dock can still swing in and take out a Bobby or an Ursula. But those double ladies, all it takes is one tramp to play, and now they both are questing for two.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the math much, much different here. So we are going to take out one of the ladies. Guessing we bounce the other Francine,
Oh, so that's still two, three, four.
which
That's
means we could
still
take out the
five more on
Ursula.
board.
It's
Two,
only
three,
only
four.
four now.
Yes, but if Andy has that shift lady in hand,
Yep, Shift
Chris doesn't
Lady,
have
a tramp,
anything else to take that lady out. So a shift lady will just win him the game because he has four
or a
lore on
tramp.
board.
Yep.
Or the tramp, indeed. Yes.
So we're gonna bounce. But ultimately, I think that's all you can do is you just, sometimes you just have to make them have it.
Yep.
So we'll see. Draw the card.
I think he drew Adela's.
Yep, there we
Oh,
go.
there it is. So that's
And
just
that's it.
game. Oh my goodness, that was rough. Poor Chris, that sucks. That was such a well played game. He did what he could. It's just a really, really tough matchup whenever they get that Chromacon down. And they're just able
Absolutely.
to go so wide so fast. There's only so much you can do without having a B prep.
Yep, absolutely. We've got some Let's Go Andes in the chat here. Um, people shouting out. Uh, that's pretty awesome. Well, that was top eight, right? Now we're moving on to two semifinals. We've got
Yeah.
a few other games maybe still playing here. I'm not sure
Yeah, let
if
me check the play
results
hub.
of those.
It looks like we did get one other game reported so far. I am not sure what the players' real names are, but according to the